Okay, it's recording.
Yay!
Yay! What's up, guys?
It's
What's up, man?
good.
Very good. How was the weekend?
Well, I have been to the Beekse Bergen in
Oh, really?
Hilverenbeek, and well, what's the
Safari.
Beekse Bergen? Will the people think? It's a safari park. It's super cool. It's where the animals can roam free, and then you have these cabins which sit at the safari borders. And then you wake up and you think, let's have a look outside with my cup of coffee. And then you see three rhinos fighting over something. I don't know what they were fighting about. But they were, wrestling and stuff. You see ostriches walk by. And I can tell you, they can run very fast. No, it was amazing. Me, the
Yeah?
wife, and the kid. And heaps of fun.
Heaps
Nice.
of fun. Nice. And I saw that Jopke had a nice walk.
Yeah. I went to a hotel, surrounded by nature, and these days everything, all the restaurants are closed, but in hotels they're still open. So it's a nice life hack to go out for dinner. And I also heard that in the hotel restaurants there's no COVID. That's why
Oh,
they are open.
I heard that
Yeah.
too.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
great to get out of the weekend and enjoy nature. I actually saw actual wild animals, or not in prison like we're well from.
But isn't the world a prison on itself? No.
Yes,
Let's go deep.
But
Let's go deep.
the whole time I had to think about Umet Oskan, and he always posts these films of these clips of his garden, and then he feeds squirrels and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, Umet, you have your squirrels, I have rhinos, man. There you go. So
Yeah.
I won that battle.
Where
Yeah,
does
you
he
did.
live?
I don't know where, but he has a really amazing house and garden.
Yeah.
And he shows it quite a lot on his feed.
I think
And it looks amazing.
in the nature area where I went, like in the Veluwe in Holland. I think it's close to there,
Yeah.
but it could be anywhere. But that's a big place of forest and heides. I don't know what the word is for heide in English.
Me neither. Yeah. Did
Just
you guys?
fields of nature.
Yeah, fields.
Probably, yeah. Is it, oh, Ralph was frozen for a second, but did you guys buy anything for Black Friday?
Yes, I bought
What
a
did you
TV.
buy?
I bought a
Oh,
TV.
really?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, our manager also bought a TV, he just told me. A QLED for 600 euros. He's very fond about it.
Nice.
I didn't buy anything, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of dislike Black Friday.
You prefer to pay the full amount?
No, I just steal stuff.
Okay.
No, there are always these discounts and stuff. And Black Friday, everybody goes crazy about Black Friday. But if you look good enough, you'll see there are a bunch of nice discounts all through the year.
True.
And the thing about I don't if you want to go online shopping, do whatever you like. But we all have seen the images of the whole inner cities of Holland, the big cities, crowded with people. Apparently, there was no COVID at Black Friday as well. I didn't get that for one bit.
I didn't
Yeah.
understand it either because online now, so we can order
Yeah.
everything, which is safe, COVID wise. Like, why would
Yeah.
you go to a shop for fun? Makes also no sense to me. But I mean, I guess we're as Holland, we're maybe the Western world, we're not as disciplined as in Asia, where they did an actual lockdown in the beginning of the year, and now everybody there is free to do whatever they want. So,
I
yeah.
actually listened to a podcast from the correspondent. Do you know those? The
Our
platform?
competitor, yeah.
And they had a talk with a virologist from the Netherlands who is part of the world team to find out how the whole vaccine thing works, and like the she's part of the top. Super interesting talk about like lockdowns and the effect of it and vaccines, and a lot of things you can learn from that talk, I must say. Things that I didn't know before, like lockdowns, for example. She said like a full lockdown, yes, it works, but it also tears down a lot, as in the economy wise. And it's better to do it the way as the Netherlands did it, like a light lockdown to kind of find that balance point where you can still have shops open and have people living their lives, but at the same time, yeah, lock the big places to prevent it from spreading really quick.
Yeah, I have to disagree because we're actually living in this experiment where you have different approaches, and the hard lockdowns, they were there in Asia.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of a success factor there is that they closed the borders. If you want to go to those places, you have to go into a quarantine of 2 weeks tops, which gets monitored really well. Over there, whether it's Taiwan, Thailand, China, Japan, they're all doing really well. Singapore, they can have parties, they can go wherever they like. Even Australia, big ass continent, is doing really well. New Zealand. But the main thing is they went to a strict lockdown and they closed up the borders.
Yeah.
So, and they have proven that that's the best thing to do, because economy-wise, China is beating our Western asses hard. We're losing.
Don't you think that's because they're not fully transparent on the numbers?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know, but
But the
I
fact
see a
that
lot
the
of parties
social life
happening
over there is fully flourishing. Like clubs are open, people are packed, tight places with a lot of people. So it clearly, everything's open. So.
And like Japan and Taiwan, there are more, and Singapore especially, you get more images out of those countries, and also New Zealand and Australia for that matter. You see people going about their business, and you don't see crowded hospitals. That's proof enough for me. And so even though she's the top researcher in the world team, and I'm just Ralph of Bassjackers, I disagree.
But it's also like you said, we're living this experiment. No one knows. Like everything we can all predict, and scientists can research everything, but we will never know until like in 2 years what would have been the best approach.
Isn't it frustrating for you guys to see that like Asia is kind of opening up? Because before COVID, I can imagine that most of the market for you was Asia.
I don't know, like it's not really frustrating, because I think it would feel weird still to go out there and party while my family is still in lockdown. Cannot do anything. So it doesn't feel frustrating, but I do feel like, hey, why can't we get it together here? Like, what are we doing wrong? And I'm thinking now, but that's of hindsight, like why in March didn't we do an extreme lockdown like they did in China, like super extreme, because it was frustrating anyways. And I think everybody felt like it was super extreme, but we could definitely be more strict about everything. Just a little bit longer, then we would have had one shit month. And like now, it's like a couple of months, gonna be longer, where like still shitty. Businesses are coming more and more in danger now, like small businesses. So it's only looking more depressing for a lot of people. So, but yeah, that's why it's a difficult time now. Like, what do we do to save, maybe for our, like, talk DJ perspective, to save the next summer, festival wise and going out wise? I have no idea, but
are you guys like positive when you talk about next summer? Because if you have to believe all the vaccine stories, they will probably start within the beginning of next year. Are you guys like positive or negative about thinking about the next festival season? So let's say April, May, June, 2021.
I'm a bit negative, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot happening. I can imagine the big organizations who have a lot of people on their day-to-day business. They can organize stuff for the summer, even though and take the risk that it doesn't happen at all. But the smaller festivals, and then I'm still talking about festivals of 15,000 to 20,000 people, which is quite a lot in my opinion, but relatively they're small compared to the Tomorrowlands or the Ultras or all those kind of guys. I don't think they can run the risk of organizing something and with a big chance that it doesn't happen at all. There's no guarantee that we all will have been vaccinated enough by the beginning of summer in July. So I think the whole pre-season of May and June we can forget about it.
Yeah.
And would you organize something? To be honest, I wouldn't want to run the risk either. It's quite a leap you have to take.
Especially if you think about the fact that insurances took out the pandemic part of the agreements. So last year
I
they
can't blame
had
them either.
It's true. But last year at least the festival owners got insurance. But next season it's like full risk on you, and which is a pretty big amount.
Definitely, So if there will be stuff happening, I think it will be at 25% capacity of what it was, and that would be a very bad thing because I think we, as the festival branch, a lot of people will flow out of the branch, take away a lot of knowledge. And we all run the risk that festivals might end up, on average, might end up a little bit shittier than they were before.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But music-wise, they will be top of the bill because we've been rocking it in the studio and we have loads of new music. So I think, a little bit less lighting, more music.
I think the big problem with, but that's more a medical problem, is that a vaccine is, if we have a vaccine and if everybody can get vaccinated, for a lot of people it's perfect, but still not a medicine. There's still the risk of like getting a breakout somewhere of COVID, especially because you can't vaccinate everyone within a year. Like that's never going to happen. So it's still not a medicine. So it's still a very dangerous thing where people are still going into hospitals and they're still flooding hospitals. So, but I think
you already hear like the first artists who really don't see a good end in this and who are kind of deciding to say like, you know what, this industry is going to fall apart. I'll leave it.
Then those guys, with all due respect, those guys then stop and go look for another job or see how they can help. I think
that's what they do.
Those are the same guys that have been calling out EDM will die, EDM Big Room will disappear from the world. Like, I think we need a bit more optimist, or in Ralph's case, like realist. With sometimes he goes a little bit pessimistic, sometimes he goes a bit optimistic. I think it's the perfect combination. I myself am more of an optimist, and I'm also not too much with my head in the future. But then again, I'm not on the organization side, so ik heb makkelijk praten. For me, it's easy to say like, oh, I'm just gonna make music now. And I don't have to plan with 100 of contract workers, stage builders, stage designers, all with a risk of it being cancelled. So that festival-wise, not looking too good. But then again, we can't ever really know what's going to happen next. Maybe there's another virus coming, and you know we're
I
more
can't
screwed.
see myself switch. I don't want to call this a job. Me and Jobke had a talk about this earlier this month, and But yeah, I can't see myself switch. It's something that I love to do, and I will do. Yeah, despite of everything. Yeah, I will make especially big room. Yeah, for as long as I like to do it. Whether I can make money or not with it, whether there's demand for it or not. We have always been doing this, and we never stopped. Like Jobke said, big room will end this and that. We were like, okay, yeah, but we like to do it. Yeah, then we have less people to listen to it. I really don't care. It's what I am is what I do, something kind of like that. And yeah, can't see myself switch jobs. Although there are some things I think are very interesting to do, but this is the one I like to do most. And yeah, if I have to do something else for money, yeah, so be it. Let's do it.
Do you think that's the also part of the success of Bassjackers, the consistency in what you guys have been doing? Because we've well, at least I think I've met Marlon first like 15 years ago, probably something around that, in the Kelder Club, like where it all started.
He still looks the same.
Yeah, exactly. Still looks the same. Yeah. But even at that time, like that was the era of Sneakers and Opus Dope. That's where kind of that sound has been founded.
Yeah.
The Dutch house sound, it was called back then.
Yeah, and then it was, if you compare it to the standards now, it was more like techno, tech house than it was like big room. But yeah, it kind of evolved into that. And yeah, we always did it. We always had something that it should be fun. And we didn't mind whatever it was or what people were saying. If we had fun and we thought the music was fun, yeah, then it was okay. We always imagine ourselves with a few beers on our own music, going, hey. and that's what we want to, that was our vision. Just to let go in the weekend and let loose, don't think too much, and have some fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we always did.
But that's the foundation also of DM, in my opinion, where I feel like when I got to the scene, like 2012, 2013, it was still like that with a lot of the DJs, and over the years, more and more people came in and saw it as more of a business. And I mean, it's still a business, but it's the music and it's fun first, and that's what kind of. You kind of miss that sometimes, the new generation, so to speak. And I think that's why also I like to do artist coaching and try to convince people of, hey, the fun of making music and the fun of releasing music. And that's what it's about. Because if you're going to a festival, you want to have fun. So you want to see fun stuff. So if you see someone having fun, for me, it's the most fun. And I'm saying
that's
fun
why I'm not on stage, because that just doesn't look like fun. My God.
Yeah.
What is he doing there?
Yeah.
No, but it's totally true. I always think it's weird that you have a lot of artists that kind of switch through music. Of course, we all also, sometimes I hear something, I'm like, oh, cool, I want to do that. And when like Vinivici introduced me to Psytrance, which was there for a long time, I was like, wow, this energy is amazing. I want to do something like that as well. So, of course, you kind of deviate from your stuff. But yeah, for me, sometimes it's weird that you see artists first make the big room like we do, and then now they make, I don't know what kind of music, tropical house, and that just doesn't fit. That's a too far
or if
thing.
They change their personality too much. Like I always I always like gimmicks, if they're done properly, if they're original. But you still want to see the person doing the gimmick having fun. So that's why, like, I would never understand an artist like Marshmello, because you can't spot any emotion. And that's what but it's not that I hating, it's more that it wouldn't attract me as a fan. Yeah. So,
but I gotta say, the music the Marshmello team puts out, it's really good. Yeah, I really like the music.
But I think it's two different things, right? It's just two complete different types of artists. As in, to me, Marshmello seems to be more like a marketed product. And with you guys, it just really started with passion, and it started to build step by step from there. It's a different approach to me. It's two different ways of doing the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
True. And yeah, to be honest, artists like Jopko or ourselves, I think we're the most honest artists you can get. We didn't jump any bandwagons and all that kind of stuff. We just always make what we like. And of course, that changes over time. And of course, you get influenced by the new stuff coming out. But yeah, it's still in its heart. It's still the same.
Yeah, and we always make sure that, and we don't even do it consciously, I think, but sometimes I hear a new style, like Ralph had with Psytrance, and you're like, oh, I'm going to make something like that. So you're making it, and it becomes your own version of that. So you're influenced by it, you're inspired by it, but it still becomes your own thing. That's also really important. It shouldn't sound
but
like...
you won't get a slap bass record from Bassjackers all of a sudden, because the whole Spotify is filled with slap bass. And it's cool if you want to make slap bass, but... yeah, it's not all of a sudden that we're like, oh yeah, that's really cool, let's do it. It's too far from the Bassjacker sound as it is, and plus, that would just be something to do, which you would do for the end of getting streams and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't matter. Yeah,
that's what I was wondering, because I think that's where most artists kind of go wrong, is that they are committing themselves to one genre. Suddenly, their genre seems to be less interesting to the market. Another genre is kind of exploding. And that's where it gets really tempting, I can imagine, because your income is going down. It's easy to go to the other route and, as you mentioned, jump on that high streams and get more income. But in the long term, you kind of sell your soul.
Yeah, but you also gotta realize that some artists don't really necessarily realize they're jumping on a bandwagon. Like sometimes you get this vocal sent to you and you make something and it's like, oh wait, oh it's funny, and then you just send it to a label and at once it picks up. Maybe it's an old remake you did for fun, and then at once it becomes number one somewhere or gets 100 million streams. So I think you can never really assume that an artist is jumping on a bandwagon, but we all know some artists that are definitely jumping on a bandwagon and are always searching for the new trend. Yeah, that would never be my style. But I guess, like you say, Ralph, you never hear a basic slap bass, slap house track. Well, you might just be fooling around in the studio one day with an old sample and then be like, oh, to be honest, let's just release it.
1 year ago, we got a top line and it landed. So it was just this funny track and it lent itself so good for a slap bass record. And I even messed around with it, and I actually really liked it. I was like, "Oh, this is a fun take on how it was." But then I was like, "Yeah, but what is it actually adding to the music that there already is?" And then I thought, it's not enough, and it really has to. I mean, we have a track with A&G, cool guys from Mexico. And it has some slap bass elements into it. It's more like Psy, slap, and big room all meshed up together.
Psy slap, new genre.
Slap.
Big slap.
Can we please stop with all the new genres? Like
the big
music is just music. Yeah, music is just music. So no, I really like to add those things into an existing track. But yeah, I wouldn't. Well, I just wouldn't. I dislike, indeed, when something is taking off, don't jump on it because it's taking off. Jump on it when you like to do it, when you think, I think that's fun to do. Hey,
when
there's no harm in jumping on something you didn't invent and which is taking off. Hey, if you like it, just do it. But don't do it because it's taking off. I think that's the right way to say it. Yeah. Don't follow the money or the streams. Just do what you like. And to be honest, I think in the long run, it's the better way to go. If I take us for an example, we always stuck to big room, even when the streaming, when Spotify blew up in 2016, a lot of people made more streamable music. Also, we did some other stuff as well, but we stuck to our roots, which is big room, and we kept on releasing it. And now eventually we see our big room tracks actually making so many streams. And I think that's due to the fact that we always stay true to our things. And I also see it like this. If they're like in the old days when you had a punk rock band, and I live in a small town called Waalwijk, and a punk rock band
Where is that?
comes.
Oh, next to Drunen. Okay. Yeah.
Next to the Efteling.
If you say Drunen,
It's
people
close
know.
to the safari park, the Beeks Bergen.
Vicksburg, yeah.
And no, if a
Wildlife.
punk rock band comes to Waalwijk and gives a show, I will go to that because I like punk rock. I see Big Room kind of as the same thing. If we have 500 people in a big city as New York liking Big Room, I'm sure they come to our show because we will give them Big Room as it's supposed to be. And they also take a lot of people with them. Bam, you have a club filled with 1,500 people, which is sold out in most of the clubs. I think that's also a choice you can make. And if that's the choice you like, please make it. People who listen to the newest trends or whatever, to see it in the playlists of Spotify, it doesn't ensure you that they will also buy tickets for your show.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem right now. If I have a look at what I hear from artists who are getting started right now, they're all focusing on Spotify. Some of them have millions of streams, but 0 gigs.
Yeah, that could be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
And-
I think that's the difficulty of. There's a bit more money now in making or in releasing music, and then like you can focus too much on, like we're talking about right now, making money with streams, but then you're not necessarily building up yourself as an artist, because being an artist comes with an idea of being something that people can relate to or like, or and I think like for what I feel for when I came up, I was a guy from my parents' house making music, small room, and at once I was at like a lot of main stages all around the world that inspired a lot of kids to start doing the same. And I didn't really think about it that much, but I always felt like, hey, I just want to make music, I want to be real. And I think that's something you forget when you just focus on only releasing music. It should be something that yes, it starts with the music, but then I think you need some kind of idea what you are, what you present to the outside world, like with your content or with your videos or with your interviews, whatever, for people to get maybe even more attractive. And it can be maybe very mysterious, so you don't have to be as personal as I always do, but I think there needs to be something, or just great DJ sets, but getting them, that's just difficult to start with. You got to start small.
Did you had any help in the beginning with that? Because I can imagine that it all started from a hobby with you, and then all of a sudden you become this artist, a brand, as you mentioned, and as you said, if you want to be an artist, you need to do more than music. So you need to be personality, or you need to have something that people can relate to. Is that something you thought of beforehand, or just something that someone helped you with, or?
Well, I got some help when I first signed to Spinning Records, for instance. I also signed to their management, and they helped me set up like my social media and stuff, and helped me get maybe in touch with directors of videos. But I did remember every time I really made sure that the things that were coming out of my social media and from Spinning were my idea, my view of how I wanted it to be. So if I had a video, I wanted it to be very involved video, and I think videos maybe don't matter that much now as they used to, but I think it's still a good way to express who you are, what you stand for, stuff like that. But yeah, I remember just always having a lot of things to say about the promo planning, ideas for a cool release of the song, hyping your songs, and and not just saying, oh, the label says, hey, let's do this, and then just say yeah. But always thinking about, is it a good idea? How would I do it? What can I add? How can I make it more me? And I think that's something that also when you just get signed, it's hard to keep that in mind, because you think, oh, the big label boss is saying this is how we're going to do it. He must be right, but he's a big label boss. He's not an artist.
Yeah.
So
It's actually really bad that I'm saying this, but you told me that you also want a hand in the videos.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not getting flamed for this, but
Here we go.
in the beginning, at 2 times, I just told the director of the video, it doesn't matter what you do, but I want girls kissing in the video. That's so bad, to be honest. But
That's what you said to your director, you mean?
No, but it's a bad thing, actually. We just... it was just more of an experiment as well, because I saw... you had these people... They took a bit of your track, and they just put a screenshot of a very beautiful girl in a bikini or something on there. And those things kind of were racking up views. It was like, wow, this music ain't that good. Come on, man. So I was like, maybe it's the girl. And yeah, I gotta say, there's definitely a correlation in that time. I think that's now not... I'm talking about 2013, 14. There was definitely a correlation. The more nudity in your video, the more views you were getting. And to be honest, the times I said, have girls kissing, it was, I think, Savior. And it was about this Mexican guy, what's it called? The wrestler guy. The Mexican wrestler.
I don't know.
Yeah. And he was saving a girl. Yeah, it sounds like a very bad story.
But
yeah, and he was saving a girl, and at some point the girl was in captivity and she kissed another girl. It was a bad script to begin with, but yeah, it still got a lot of views, and I'm sure, even though Savior, it's one of my favorites, but yeah, the number count, it just didn't add up.
But you said that's why it's not a good idea to be involved, or you just think that was a terrible video with a lot of views?
I think that was bad. Yeah. You just. Yeah.
Oh, but like, I'm not saying it's always good. Like if you get involved and you bring ideas, yeah, you can mess it up as well. Like, so, but that's you learn.
Yeah, well, the end result was very good, but I don't think it's good to promote kind of stuff because of your views, even though when you see a correlation, but controversy has always sold. I mean, if you make a sex tape, there are people famous because they made a sex tape. They're not able to do something really good. No, they had a sex tape and they're famous for it.
But I think
that's so
it's
weird.
A very good point you're making. It's like, apart from the girls kissing thing, it's like also don't just, it's the same as with the music. Yeah, you don't do everything for the views. It would be great to have a lot of views on your video, but first of all, you should have a great video idea or something cool, and then you will hope it will get traction because a lot of people like it.
I think Yellow Claw always did a very good job, especially in the beginning. They had these cool videos, and then they had this image of, I don't know, a city, then boom, a black screen, then boom, the city back. Big letters, Yellow Claw, boom, black screen with the letters. That was, for me, I was like, wow. And of course, Jim is he's a great film maker. Yeah. But still, that it was like, wow. Then, bam, those letters, Yellow Claw. And they had a really good setup. That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah. How important are those videos these days? Because most of the times it's a pretty big project. They take quite a lot of money to invest. Yeah. Is it still worth it?
No.
Yeah,
well...
Is it worth it? That's the really difficult thing, because...
You have to be really creative about it. Yeah. You have to think more. It's not only a video. There needs to be... it's more a marketing tool. There has to be some activation in it for... Why should it... it should make people listen to it more and share it with their friends, because look at this, how amazing it is. And sometimes if something is amazing, that's not enough reason to share it anymore. No, sometimes you really have to activate the people to make sure they share it. And we had the memories video, which was it was about a lesbian girl. She committed suicide.
I'm hearing a theme here. I'm hearing a theme.
Yeah, no, but this was more because I felt better with that, because it always has been a thing. I think also the dance scene is about, it's a really kind, open scene for everybody. Whoever you are and however you look and whatever you do and whatever you believe in. But it was about a girl. She was a lesbian. Her dad wasn't so fond about it, and she had this romance with another girl. But she was doubting as well, and kind of ignoring her after they got. I see you're laughing.
Sorry.
No, it was actually a real theme. But it got also it got an award for being or speaking about something, and that's why it was being shared as well. I kind of like that approach. If it really has something to tell, a cool story, and really add something,
Like a
that's the
deeper
way
message.
I want it. But it's sometimes it can just be fun and have some cool party images. And
I think it's also. I remember I did a video of Wake Up 2016-ish, and it seems very long ago, although it's 4 years. This seems so long ago, but I took a GoPro with me for a couple of weeks, then just filmed a bunch of stuff, and that would be the video, and it would be unique because there were not many DJs with that many shows who were filming themselves touring. And now there are way more DJs who have same kind of tours, who put in way more budget for like a video and bring a cameraman. So it's also the standards are way higher to stand out.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things where if you want to do a video, either just do like a lyric video, I'd say, for just so people can view it on YouTube as well. Find the lyrics. I think that's cool. I think it's cool if you have a lyric track, people to see the lyrics and maybe know a bit more what it's about. And other ways, you have to really, really go next level, I'd say. So either go next level or just take it a bit more like humble approach and don't focus too much on that video, but go to the next song maybe. And my goal is always to get, like, maybe save some money on different projects to figure out a track where you want to really go for it again, and then put in some budget in that video.
Yeah. What would be like the best thing to invest in if you do a release at this moment?
Time. You should invest time. Like, if we're talking about investing money, I would like, I don't know, but I think investing time in the music itself.
But aside from that, when the track gets released, like a couple of years ago, doing a video was one of the biggest investments. Of course, some marketing budgets were there, but what would be the best way to spend, like, let's say, €1,000 on a release? Is that Facebook marketing? Is that influencer marketing?
I think
video?
you could try to run some ads, but I think running some ads requires already a video, so you need a good video, and preferably you have a great idea for a video. I think that's where it starts with, but then producing the video and running the ads, €1,000 isn't that much, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to get really creative, which is also cool. But video content still really matters, I think. Just to get your track heard.
If you run an ad, you have to have something to show for. It's hard. I think that's something which is always changes. I said before, a video was a few years ago was the way to go, and it worked really well. But now, you can see the YouTube numbers. They aren't as much anymore. Of course, the revenue becomes less. So why would you invest? What would I do with €1,000? It's a hard one. you have to focus on activation. See why would people share it, because like I said before, if people think something is cool, most of the time that's not enough reason for them to share it. It's how I am as well. Sometimes I see something which is really cool. Am I pressing the share button? No. If they make a cool story about why would I share it, it could make me think, why not? Let's share that thing. And but how would you spend it? You gotta get really creative nowadays. And it's a shame. I've thought of something cool which will come in March, so it's something for the next podcast. Yeah. I think it's a really cool one, and I'm not telling.
But I think also kind of what you're saying, Ralph, is you got to think about your track. What can you do? What is that track meant for as well? So and that's been the problem for me this year. I have a track that I was making months before to play on festivals, mostly, and in clubs, and focus my promo around that. And now it's just that all went away. So it's like it's difficult to think of ways. How would people listen to my track? How would people like use my track in their stories? Because you can't repost stories of you playing the track. People seeing that, like it's all because that's not really part of the promotion.
Focus on your own content. I think what people a lot of the times are missing is that you can work together with people who have a platform or don't have a platform, but just make cool content you feel something with. Make use of each other's, but make it a longer relation. Don't think of one release, but how can you make sure that our processes working continuously to make sure that your stuff gets out there. But let's say you're a beginning producer, and there is this guy on the internet you're following. He has 3,000 followers. He isn't big, but you like what he or she is doing, and hey, just contact them. Hey, if you make content, you can make sure you can use my music. Who knows? The person blows up, or you blow up, or you simultaneously blow up, figuratively, or else you will have a lot of views. But that is the end. But I think those kind of things, they work for you, and they keep on working, and in a fun way.
Yeah. I always say this with making music as well. Try to find people that are on the same creative level. Or you guys are still laughing about the blow up joke. But like find people that you can connect with on a creative level. And,
if one of you blows up right now, we have the best podcast ever.
But like also that it's fun working with, because even if you don't blow up, find people that you still had a good time working with this. So.
Yep.
But that's the thing. Like it needs to be fun now. Also, if you want to work, it's cool to work with. I always see it like this. If you do a live stream, it's like, do people really care? No, but this is the thing. If I do a live stream, I have like...
I'm not listening anymore, man. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to finish the story. Do people really care? If people don't care, you did it all by yourself, it's a bit like, why did I do this? It feels a bit like, it makes no sense.
I do follow you
but
there,
if you work with a team, and you work on something that still no one cares about, at least you with the team... You with the team? Ralph, stop it. Can we mute Ralph?
It's Joey. I was actually being
But like, if you then work on something with a team, it makes what you make meaningful, even if no one else cares about it. But this is a very important point.
Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry.
Deep. But that's truly what I think. So even if you make a... If you make a wooden shed in the wilderness, no one cares about it. But if you make it with a team, it becomes something. It means something.
If you want to make a wooden shed, Jopke, just do it.
Yeah, but if you do it with a team, you know what I mean?
That was the only thing I heard as well. Like wooden sheds. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I made a really nice story here.
We'll clip it and put it afterwards. Oh shit. Yeah. You know, that's actually one thing oh man.
I'm done.
Actually, one thing I got from one of our talks, Ralph, like probably a year or maybe longer ago, that you mentioned that you that you like working with smaller producers, like smaller producers.
Smaller, like 1 meter 60, but not larger. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I
No,
knew
but
this
you listen to the music itself
How
and
tall
not
are you,
necessarily.
Ralph?
Yeah, Jopke is also smaller. How tall are you?
Sorry.
180. Yeah.
That you
I'm
prefer to look
185.
that you prefer to look to the to listen to the quality of the music instead of how big that person is.
Yeah. No, but that's totally true. Yeah, and well, I always also think that the new stuff, innovation, doesn't come from the big guys.
Yeah.
Bigger isn't always better.
No, yeah, we can't say anything anymore. It
Yeah,
doesn't
done.
come from the, how do you say it? The ones that already made it. No.
Yeah.
No, but especially
Not totally true,
younger up and coming artists, no, that's not totally true. But I see so many, I hear so many things that they have this. They're totally free of what they make. You know, sometimes I can already see it by myself. Sometimes you get limited by what you already have done. You don't want to, but something in your subconsciousness is that you're gonna start making music to make sure you want people to like it. I'm not
I
saying
think
this
this
right.
this
You
is
get-
knows
you
what
get-
I'm
I have a
saying.
nice
You
metaphor
get
for
blocked
this.
by experiences.
I have a very nice metaphor. Like, someone explained it to me like this. You imagine a skiing slope. That's the skiing slope of your life. And you go off it and you take the turns and you're making turns and you're digging deeper and deeper into that same pattern. So no matter if you go a bit to the side, you will always like slide into that path you already made.
Yeah.
I think then
Yeah,
what
when you
someone
go
else can
up
do is bring
and
you to a
get-
new
and-
slope, which is like totally empty again.
Yeah.
Show you like, hey, you can also go this way. But find
Totally
people
agree.
that
That's really a good metaphor, and that's why I like with the new artist. Sometimes I hear something, I'm like, wow, this is such a fresh take on this or that. And sometimes it are people like Len. It's we did a track called Ready, and we're doing another one as well. He actually made a Bassjackers track. It was online, and people thought it was us because it sounded so much like us. But he had just this take on. It was like he was doing the music for me, and but it was such a cool take on what we have done already that I contacted him, asked him if we could use it and remake another track with what he made, and then we got in the studio together, and it was really fun. But yeah, it was that guy. It was not me who made the track. It was another guy. And that's what I liked about it. He had this other take on our sounds and what you can make with it, and so we went for it. And yeah, I really like that.
I recently bought a book called "Steal Like an Artist," which is kind of about this topic, which says like you can be inspired by other people's music, but just take the best out of it and give it your own twist. But there was also a lot of other things in it about creativity, and I really forgot where I wanted to go with this. But it's more like what I really liked about the way how you work is that you don't necessarily look at how big that artist is. You just look at, hey, does this sound is this something I appreciate? Is this something we believe in from Bassjackers? And can we use this to release, or can we create a collab out of this or whatever? Yeah.
It was indeed interesting. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but it's true. Just if you, it doesn't have to make a marketing point all the time. Sometimes it's to be honest, all our decisions are more creatively driven than from a marketing perspective, and I think that's for if you want to have a long career. We started out in 2007. Holy shit!
You're old.
But yeah, no, that's not true. We're still young, and but I don't think you can maintain it on another way. I think that, to speak the Mandalorian, that is the way.
I think it's that how I see it with my music, for instance. Like creating the music should be like, especially the first part. This should be pure creativity and not too much of an idea where you're going, or like maybe a little bit. But it would be cool if the idea is totally new and creative. Then you start throwing it in little bit of it's a bit of a compromise between, hey, this is the very extreme idea, and this is how I want to release it. So there already start some commercial thoughts, or mostly commercial thoughts, or I can do this with a cool way with a video or whatever. And I always think that my music, like after I released, like companies, like my track can be the bitch of of commercials and whatever. Like I have done my part, use it on a big TV show or whatever, fine with me, like then it's fine, I think, to do everything super commercial with it. But I think the creation part is where, and that's also like with the marketing, you create, that's where the creative come up with good ideas. That's the first step, and then comes the commercial part.
We had to talk about this I think it was last week, and you mentioned like, I just want to focus on making the music and all the other shit that needs to be done, so the marketing and the promotion and blah blah, that's for someone else, like it's okay.
Like I think with the promotion, like I said before, I like to always be involved, but more along the lines of ideas. So more along the lines of, this would be a cool idea. Will it make money? I don't care. Like, of course you hope so, but with the idea itself, I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to be on that side of the table too much. You gotta be. You have to be as well as an artist. You gotta make sure you're making money, but you don't want to. I don't want to focus too much on it.
No, that will only get you frustrated. But you gotta always take that in mind, especially when you want to do this 24/7 and don't have work next to making music. Then you really have to also think about that kind of stuff. But for instance, what I notice about a lot of up-and-coming guys, or some guys who are already there for years, make sure that everything is arranged really well, and make sure that from all the facets of the music industry, you know a little bit, and that you can talk when you're sitting at the table, because there's actually money in the stupidest stuff, like neighboring rights. I don't know, but if you make sure that's arranged really well, it will save up thousands of euros a year. And if you don't do that kind of stuff because I just want to make music, or I just don't care, or I have somebody else doing that for you, nobody will run as hard for you than yourself.
Yep.
And you don't have to know everything for 100%. Even I don't know that. And I'm a bit of a control freak sometimes. But I always think you have to know a little bit, or else you can not even judge whether the team is doing a good job. Because what do you know? Hey, they can just play Warzone all day, and you think they're doing a good job. Yeah.
I think most important for like the back end of yourself as an artist or a company like your administration and like your contract deals and stuff. Like you said, always I would also advise always get some legal advice. It doesn't have to cost a lot. There's always some
Yep.
lawyers who can do it for cheap or like for one rate. To just check the contract, especially with like publishing contracts and stuff like that. And don't just say, "Oh, the lawyer said this, so
Yeah.
I will accept it." No, really try to understand what is in your contract. And if you don't understand it, don't sign it. And if you would
Yeah.
ask me about my publishing contract right now, I have no clue because I have to dive all the way back into it. Oh yeah, this is how we did it. But at the moment when I signed it, I made sure I knew what I was signing.
Yeah.
To be honest, publishing is also, it's kind of complex how it's all arranged. It's based on
Super
the
complex.
old
And-
music. It still has these terms in that you sell CDs. Nobody sells CDs.
No, but
Yeah.
the big companies that we sign publishing deals with, they will try to keep it complex
Yeah,
for as long as they
definitely.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you always got to go in the meeting with a publishing company, knowing that they want to fuck you. That's basically it.
They want to earn money on you,
That's
right?
also how
So,
you
yeah.
should go
Yeah, and
to
as
every.
much as they as possible.
That's
Yeah.
also how you should go to every date, because if you're convinced from that, your confidence will be through the roof, and you score.
Dating advice from Jay.
Okay, yeah, let's end up with the dating life
Yeah.
of Joey. Jopke.
Exactly. Listen, I think this
What
is a,
can we learn from dating life?
Well, like I just said, everything. So if you
That's
have
true,
a,
definitely, yeah.
if you have a face
Self-confidence.
like me, you can still
What are you drinking?
water.
Oh, it's water.
fancy
cool.
bottle.
Yeah, fancy bottle, fancy schmancy.
Saving the world because I'm not using plastic.
Hey,
Papa.
I always think that's a bit of a weird thing for bottles to say like, yeah, we're not you save waste with us.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, you can also drink straight out of the tap, or like you said, like a cup. I don't need to buy this bottle, but I think it's very convenient.
Yeah, or like, oh, buy this saving the world bottle.
Yeah.
It's produced in China and then it gets all the way over here, of course, with this.
Yeah, but
big
even if it's
polluting,
produced in Holland, like you don't need that bottle. You can
Well, the
also
thing
get
with the
a
bottles
glass.
is they always tend to smell really bad after a year or so.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really hard
You
to
gotta
clean
wash
them in a
them.
dishwasher.
So, yeah.
Just
But
wash
yeah,
them.
well, so
I wash them every week.
You
What?
wash them? Yeah,
I wash
in
it
the
every
shower.
week.
How do you
Okay.
wash them?
I wash it every week. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. Listen, I think this is a good moment to
I see
end
Ralph
this.
thinking like, should I make this
Let's-
joke?
let's
Should I
just-
make this joke?
Okay.
Let's just cut it out here. One thing I wanted to point out for everyone who's watching right now who might think, what the fuck is this? What have I been watching for the last couple of 60
I
minutes
am
almost?
one of those guys. Please explain.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first podcast of artist coaching. There will be more. We will do talks about music, about life, about COVID, about everything. Things that go on in the world and in our lives. As you might know, Ralph and Jopke are part of artist coaching since a couple of months now. And we're working on some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff coming up in the online academy as well, which will probably be launched this month. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up as well, but this is just for fun and to bring some more content to get to know us a bit better as well.
Yep.
So guys,
Yeah.
I've laughed, I've cried, I've did
Yeah.
kind of everything.
Till next time, right?
Exactly. Till next time, I hope you guys have a great day.
Yeah.
And
You too.
thanks.